I'm Kelly Griffith. I am a parent, a runner, and a connector, and I am a senior legal editor for Practical Law Litigation. I have two daughters. They're 7 and 10, and one thing I have found myself doing as a parent that I maybe didn't see coming is breaking down every task into bite-sized pieces. In my work as an editor, the same approach is really helpful, making sure that the task is approachable. I work on Ediscovery resources, and that's not something with which a lot of litigators are already familiar. So keeping in mind that I need to start at the beginning. I need to not assume prior knowledge or expertise and make sure that everything is in that resource or linked out to another resource that they need to achieve that task. I'm a newer runner. I started running regularly probably a little bit less than a year ago, and started training for my first half marathon in the spring, and I'm now training for my first marathon. And that really translates to the work I do on Practical Law Resources, because you can't cram at the end. You can't wait and say, oh, I'm going to throw this resource together, or I'm going to update this resource later, because you don't know when the subscriber's last minute is. I enjoy bringing people into a community or into a fold in a situation in which they might be a little bit hesitant. And one way I've done that recently in my personal life is, as I started running in my hometown, I realized there wasn't a local women's running group of any type. I just started a Facebook group and added every woman I knew who had ever even thought about running or walking. In my work at Practical Law, I work on Ediscovery resources, which is an area that a lot of litigators find somewhat intimidating, a little bit outside of their comfort zone. And so if I can create resources that make that accessible to people and say, you can do this too, and just break it down for them in a way that kind of offers them a path into being able to handle that responsibly for their practice, responsibly for their clients, using it as a source of advocacy, I really enjoy that aspect of my work. So in addition to being a mom and a runner and a connector, I also I do the daily work of keeping up on what's going on in the legal world. Our new cases being decided, our rules being considered, our new technologies developing, that sort of thing, which is pretty easy to do. The Ediscovery community is pretty active and fairly robust. But I also make a habit of attending a number of conferences throughout the year and around the country. The Sedona Conference, the Georgetown Ediscovery Conference, the Arkfeld ASU Conference. Seeing people in person and hearing those sorts of presentations is a really nice way to make sure that I'm up to speed on what our subscribers need.